every time we touch, I get this feeling, and every time we kiss, I swear I can fly. Can't you feel my heart beat fast? I want this to last. Need you by my side. 'Cause every time we touch, I feel the static, and every time we kiss, I reach for the sky. Can't you hear my heart beat so? I can't let you go. Want you in my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and welcome to Cameron Indoor Stadium for the 2022 K Academy National Championship game. This afternoon's game features Team Denver, led by head coach Emil Jefferson, and Team San Antonio, led by head coach Mark Ellery. And now, the starting lineups for Team San Antonio. Number 40, James Chernard. Number 13, Jason Goldblatt. Number 109, Brad Olison. Number 99, Samir Patel. Number 102, Ali Samadi. Number 68, Jason Sayat. Number 22, Stormy Scott. Number 107, Graham Singer. Number 5, Adam Tolan. And number 3, David Walker. And now your starting lineups for Team Denver. Number 32, David Goldsmith. Number 72, Matt Hollinger. Number 46, Jesse Itzler. Number 83, Jia Jiang. Number 82, Josh McNulty. Number 90, Rohit Mehta. Number 113, Stephen Moff. Number 84, Chris Sobecki. Number 6, Scott Wandzilak. And number 26, Grant Joe.
Off we go for the title. It's the top seed Denver, 7-0 in the event, and the 2 seed San Antonio, also 7-0. We will for sure have our first undefeated champion since 2017. Great to have you with us, David Schimate, alongside Jeff Oltmans and Ryan Craig here as well. Tim Dealey, our K Academy insider, with some news before we get started. Brad Olison tweaked the right hamstring during their semifinal game for San Antonio. He is out. That is a huge loss. Fellas, how does that play into this one? How do you see it playing out?
The Vegas line has swung dramatically, David, upon receiving that news. Obviously, Olison has so much to do with what San Antonio tries to accomplish. I thought they did a fantastic job, Jeff, of making the adjustment on the fly. I mean, it's one thing to have time maybe in between games, but they had to figure that out in game. They did it and got themselves to the finals.
It was a fantastic finish for them. Jason Goldblatt, the veteran of K Academy, really stepped up. Got a lot of help inside from Mr. Singer.
And it'll be Denver who has the basketball first, and you can see the size already that's going to be a factor, what Denver can do with McNulty and Zhao. Up top, it's Wandzilak.
Yeah, you mentioned stepping up. How about Zhao stepping up last game? 17 points, more than twice his average. He was an absolute beast, part of the Twin Towers for Coach Emil Jefferson and Team Denver.
Moff drains the 3 ball. That is his 11th hit from deep here in the event. And it comes just 30 seconds into the title game.
He was 0 for 4 in the last game from long distance, but he's a guy that's been a consistent shooter for them.
And since playing against him, I'll tell you that he's got a quicker release than it looks like. Hard to close out on him in time.
And you can see, boy, if Moff is hitting with the challenges presented by Zhao and McNulty, Denver is going to be a handful for San Antonio.
Good start for McNulty, getting to the free throw line, makes a living there. Every K Academy. He's a good shooter as well.
As the first free throw was good for McNulty.
One thing to get to the line, it's another thing to hit the free throws. He's now got 27 for the week on 46 attempts.
Second one goes back. McNulty had 10 and 9 in the semifinals. Zhao had 17. Here's Goldblatt. He had the game-winning bucket against Minneapolis. As Scott's going to try a 3. That's short.
I'll tell you what, San Antonio went 0 for 16 from 3. That is not going to cut it in this final. They are going to have to hit some outside shots, particularly without Olesen in the lineup.
As McNulty's foul on the way in, the foul will be on the floor. It's on Scott. And a fresh 30 to work with, to 10:46 to go here in the opening half. Just to cover the rules one more time. Substitution patterns invoked at the under 8 and under 4 timeouts. We'll also do one at the 11-minute mark of the second half. Then you have free substitutions the rest of the way as Moff gets it off the inbound and scores. A quick 5 for Stephen Moff.
He hasn't scored a lot of buckets inside this camp, but that time floated in from the perimeter and maybe lost track of him a bit.
It's a nice read on that play.
Quickly, 6-0 Denver, 90 seconds in. Zhao going with the red long sleeves here for the title game. As Goldblatt comes off of a screen, can't hit a 3. Rebound, tap, wouldn't go. Singer a third opportunity, and that's blocked.
Singer had a good game, 10 and 7 against Minneapolis just a moment ago. Had a steal and a block shot as well.
Oh, McNulty dials one up, and it's 9-0. And this is just what you did not want if you're Mark Hallery.
McNulty's the only true inside-outside guy at this camp.
He's going inside and getting one blocked is Chenard, and out of there with it is Denver. The basketball and all the momentum just over 2 minutes in. They scored the first 9. And we talked in the first couple of games they won here in the tournament, Ryan. They only made 1 3 already with 2. McNulty between the legs with a dribble, got inside, kicks for Zhao on the left baseline, 10 on the timer, all the way in, a little bully ball, and he's going to pick up the offensive foul.
Stormy Scott sticking his head in there. Zhao is called for the foul. Just a confident stroke from McNulty, stepping into the 3.
Stormy's a really tough defensive player. He can pick up the perimeter or defend on the block, so very versatile.
And Zhao picks up his first. Singer now working on the block. A kick out for Scott. Sayad's going to try 3. That's a nice response.
That's a huge basket for San Antonio. Sayad's capable outside shooter. They're going to need a couple of other maybe non-traditional options to add some scoring punch.
3 minutes gone. San Antonio on the board. It's 9-3. McNulty thought about launching again instead of Zhao. Up top, Wanzelak's going to fire. That won't go. And the rebound for Chenard. Knocked out of his hands, though, stolen in backcourt, but you can't do that until you get to the second half. And over there, Jia Jiang saying, no, I was fighting for the rebound. That wasn't backcourt. I've yet to see one of those arguments won.
And it'll be a while.
Yet
before
they
you see
persist.
It'll be forever, maybe.
The referees are undefeated.
That's right.
Goldblatt.
Jeff Oltmans has yet to complain about a call
That's
in his
true.
K Academy career.
At least in this game. It's
That's
not
right.
playing.
I was looking up. Who do you think of the former players leads in the most technicals?
Former K Academy campers?
Or former players coaching?
Gotcha, former Blue Devils
Yep.
coaching. That's a dangerous question.
Jay Billis with 3.
Really?
I wouldn't have picked him, would you?
No, I would not have. I also would have thought it would have been more than 3.
Yeah, that's true. Scott goes inside.
Of course,
and lost along
the number of
baseline.
technicals that probably should be called versus the ones that actually are. True. It's a little bit different.
That's one area the refs are swallowing the whistles.
Yeah.
9-3, Denver by 6, 4 minutes in.
Jeff, have you had to make this turnaround? Have you done the semifinals, the finals? So what's that like? You know, and I don't know if you were the team that played basically 2 in a row or if you got the break. What is that like for these guys?
It's really tough, almost more mentally than physically, because you come off a big win in the semifinal, and you got to bring that energy back in the final. And the year that we did it, we did get the win in the end, but we started very slowly.
Yeah.
Boy, Jow and McNulty
That might be
all
what-
over the glass.
Yeah, and that might be what San Antonio's feeling right now, right? It's this highs of and then the lows of losing your guy, and then you come back and win, and now you got to do it all over again, and then the other team comes out hot. It's like this roller coaster. As you
Yeah, and
see.
for Denver, you see them come out quickly. They're all watching the game before. They're getting excited. They're seeing the matchups. They're thinking about what they can do to get off to a quick start, and they did.
At some point, it just becomes a numbers thing, too, I would think, because San Antonio was already without Samir Patel, who went out with an Achilles injury. Now you lose Olison, obviously, his production's a piece of it, but you're down to 8 as well.
Yeah, rotations get a little tighter. That's why there's some buffer built into the rosters.
Yeah.
There's usually an expected amount of attrition, unfortunately, over the course of the camp.
Goldblatt gets it in. Had the game winner. Had 10 in total in the semis against Minneapolis, a 29-27 win. Tolan on the drive. Cut off on the way in, had to get rid of it. Singer. Scott found the cutter off the left window. No good out of the hands of Goldblatt. Tap follow for Singer, no. A third opportunity wouldn't go, and Meta clears it this time.
Singer's got good bounce in addition to being a big-bodied guy. Just couldn't get the finish there. Nice
Hollinger
look.
found a cutter off the left window. Good out of the hands of Itzler. 11-3. Denver by 8 right now. They've led by as many as 9 as we hit the 7-minute mark of the opening half.
Talked a little bit in the semifinal about Itzler's vision. Finds good passes, but he also finds good cutting lanes, and there created an opportunity, and his teammate found him. Easy finish inside.
That's a really good move from Stormy there. Spin dribble in the lane, a nice finish.
His first bucket cuts it to 6. Goldsmith on the left. Jumper up and good.
Sobecki.
Out of the hands of Chris Sobecki, the Wyoming native, in his 5th year at K Academy, stretches the lead back to 8.
That's a confident-looking shot. Stepped right into it and nailed it.
Scott on a baseline drive. Got by Itzler, and then Itzler took it away. Scott was looking for a foul, no whistle coming. So about midway through the first half, when you were in these types of games, we were talking about this earlier, at what point do you feel like you were settled in? Did it take to the second half, or was it right about now once you got through the first substitution rotation? Is Itzler's able to score again?
It's usually the first minute or so of your first shift. You know, just get a couple times up and down the floor. And then you start thinking about, just your game as opposed to any kind of butterflies.
Denver quickly out to a 10-point lead, 5:45 to go in the opening half as the long 2 goes for Tolan.
Tolan's a really good role player for San Antonio, and every team needs that. I mean, the way the rosters are built, you have to have guys that know their role, can hit open shots, defend multiple positions.
Yeah.
Tolan's one of those guys.
Yeah, and this is their 8th game, so they know their roles at this point, and it's a matter of execution.
Goldsmith at the elbow, had to get rid of it. 3 to shoot. Itzler going to try 2. Blocked by Scott. Came free inside, but unable to hit his Goldsmith as he was underneath the hoop, and they turned it over on a shot clock violation. Emil Jefferson, the head coach for Denver, looking for his first K Academy title. Mark Allery trying to break out of that pack with 3. Uphill climb right now for San Antonio. Is inside, and a foul called as Singer was trying to post up.
It's a good job by Singer sealing off his defender. Really the only shot that Hollinger had there was to foul him or let him catch the ball.
Off the inbound, 3 ball is up quickly and short. Out of the hands of Scott. Feels like this stretch is really important for San Antonio is on the left at Sobecki, just purely because with Zhao and McNulty on the bench with the substitution patterns, a chance for Singer to maybe do some damage inside as there's a jumper off the right that won't go for Hollinger. 4.5 minutes to go until the break. Tolan can't hit. And now here comes Itzler.
It was a bit of a quick possession. You'd like to see him try to get into Singer, to your point, with a little bit of a size advantage right now.
Inside it goes. Goldsmith raked out of there by Goldblatt, but it'll stay on this end of the floor.
This will probably be the final possession until the next set of substitutions.
And you're talking about, you see it so often when teams are struggling offensively. Temptation is to, pick up the pace, get down quickly, try not to go into set defense, but at times it can exacerbate the problem because then you're back playing defense after 4 or 5 seconds is Sobecki can't hit.
It's like when you play football, you sling it around, all over the place. So it could be 4th down in about 12 seconds, and now your team's playing defense again.
As we reach the under 4 substitution rotation. Denver up 15-7. An 8-point lead with 3:54 to go until the break. They are 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from deep. San Antonio, 3 out of 11. A field goal each for Tolan, Scott, and Sayat. The leading scorer right now in the game for both sides is Moff, 5, and he had him very early in this one. He had the first 2 field goals for Denver.
It's a hot start for Denver. 54% from the field is well ahead of the K Academy average.
Yes. Doubled up. San Antonio's at 27 right now.
You guys mind how important depth is when you get to this part of the tournament. I think that speaks to what Denver's doing. Zhao had, 17 in the semifinals? He's yet to score, and they're still up 8.
They got a lot of options.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, Jeff, is they have a lot of different ways that they can play, different guys they can go to, and the Twin Towers are back out there now. The David Robinson, Tim Duncan of K Academy 19.
Now, how do you think Justin Robinson feels that you made that comparison for the opposition?
Not great. He remembers how good his dad was. I wouldn't have wanted to play against him either.
One of the assistants for San Antonio.
He had a pretty good seat for a lot of what his dad did in his career.
A steal off the inbound for Zhang, but that might have been backcourt defense, and I think that's what they're going to call. Emil Jefferson trying to make the case that Zhang jumped from front court, but that'd be a heck of a leap because he was down around the 3-point.
Carl Lewis-like long jump.
As Tolan gets across midcourt. Denver by 8. Oh, and a baseline drive. Nice scoop, and got the roll.
It's been a good effort here for Tolan. He's trying to keep his team in the game here. He's being asked to do maybe a little bit more than usual, handling the ball. A couple good buckets.
He scored the last 4, cut it 6. Moff trying to change it. Can't hit a 3. They fight for the rebound. And out of there with it is San Antonio. So a chance to get a little bit closer with Tolan. A hit ahead for Singer. Over a double team. Can't hit the jumper from 15 feet out. McNulty now trying to drive inside, and he'll be rewarded with free throws.
That's a nice hesitation move right there. Draws the foul.
McNulty back to the free throw line where he spends quite a bit of time. 1 for 2 thus far in the game. Closing in on 50 free throw attempts. Will probably get there this game.
With Josh, I think people look at his 3-point shots and his inside play, but he's very, very dangerous on the break. He likes to take the ball coast to coast. He's a really good ball handler, and he gets up ahead of steam, and you take your chance trying to get in front of him.
There's some brave souls that have taken some charges this week. That good on them. Better them than me.
Tolan for Samadi, now back for Tolan.
With Goldblatt on the bench, too. Tolan's the primary ball handler for San Antonio.
And he lost it. Oh, Zhao behind the back. Knew McNulty was there, and he drives in for 2.
Big smile from McNulty. I think he was trying to line it up to dunk it. I don't know if he lost the grip. I don't know if he was just kidding the whole time. But
is that Boo Birds from his own section?
It's tough, man. It's a dog-eat-dog world.
That's a heck of a pass. Right in stride almost.
I think Zhao has just come on so strong latter portion of camp. Is that just a confidence thing, especially for guys that maybe haven't been as many times?
Yeah, it's just getting comfortable with your team, getting used to playing out here. I mean, everybody, when you step on this court, and I don't care who you are, the first time you come out here, you're going to be a little nervous.
Yeah.
And he's really found his game as this camp's gone along.
Wanzalak for Zhao, and he's fouled, and he'll shoot 2. As we get another look here at K Academy, Ron, you've been around long enough. We all know the philosophy. Do what you want to in transition, right? But you better score.
Yeah.
And I think this came into the decision-making process right at the end. Don't miss.
It looks like he lost the grip of the ball a little bit. I don't know if that was destined for a dunk regardless. Maybe a couple of years ago. There've been a couple dunks. Have you witnessed any? I think Fred Perpall had one.
I have witnessed one, and it's actually a good story. We were down about 15 points to Michelli's team, and he'd had a bet that he made in the off season from the last camp with Jason Williams. Jason had to give a charity donation to the charity of Michelli's choice. They were up about 15. He got a breakaway dunk, and I was pissed off because we were losing by 15, and he dunked on us. So I go up to him after the game, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, what was that about?" And he goes, "It's for charity." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine."
Oh, that's good. Yeah, there've been a few. There haven't been very many, but there's been a few. San Antonio's gonna have to come up with a few answers here. It's 22-9.
1:19 to go in the half. They've answered the push and now scored 7 straight of their own. Moth was 7 here in the opening half. And now if you're San Antonio, you haven't scored in a little more than 2 minutes and on the wrong side of a 13-point scoreline.
It's almost like if you could go score, stop, score, and now you get down to single digits at halftime, you start to change the narrative a little bit.
Yeah, I think single digits enough feel like they're in this game. They knew they'd be a little tired. They got to adjust to the fact they've lost their leading scorer. Couple good possessions here, and they got a shot.
70 seconds to go in the half. Scott to the baseline. Chenard. Right back to Scott. Oh, good spin move, but Zhao there to reject it. Wanzalak as we're going to a minute to play in the half.
Third block of the week for Zhao.
Moff again. Too strong.
Moff's trying to stake his claim to that outstanding player of the tournament trophy.
Oh, Scott. Was that an elbow or a reach in?
They'll call it on Wanzalak.
Wanzalak with the foul. I like your story, breaking up a potential fight, disagreement in camp with a charitable contribution. Maybe those guys arguing about fantasy football, Major League Baseball right now could work there.
Just throw a charitable element in there, cool everybody down a bit.
It was impressive, and there was a lot of cheers from the crowd when he did it. So
you were not one of them.
I was not happy about it.
You were not one of the cheering.
I was not happy about it.
Scott with it, 10 to shoot. Good screen set up top by Singer. He'll take the baseline jumper, and it won't go. Shot clock off. Denver can hold for the final shot of the half if they want to. And Emil Jefferson seeking a timeout, and now actually comes to his feet to take it because he couldn't get their attention while resting along the scorer's table. Trying to conserve energy. It's been a long week and a long day. 15.9 to go in the half. Denver by 13. Back in a moment. Final 15 seconds here of the opening half. Hello. David Schmidt alongside Ryan Craig and Jeff Oltmans. Great to have you with us for the championship game of K Academy 19, Denver and San Antonio. San Antonio a little bit shorthanded, a lot shorthanded, without their leading scorer, Brad Olison, trying to hang with a Denver team that has been at times dominant in this event.
Yeah, and I understand why you say that, David, and it's absolutely part of the storyline. It's, you know, as we've been talking about it, I've been trying to think in my head. One thing we don't want to do is take any credit away from Denver because they have been outstanding all week. You know, that's the other part of this. Is clearly San Antonio is shorthanded, but gosh, even if there's a healthy Brad Olison out there, who knows? Because nobody's been able to solve Emile Jefferson's team here at camp. In fact, there have been very few that have gotten really close. So it's really another excellent half, 22-9 at the break for these guys looking to go 8-0.
Singer can't hit from half court, and we've reached intermission. Denver 22, San Antonio 9. Back with the second half in just a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to announce our Emily K. Center raffle winners. Emily K. Center raffle winners. The first item, 2 tickets to Countdown to Craziness. The winner, Alejandro Fernandez. The second item, the Beach House Trip. The winner, Jim Ushak. Two tickets to the ACC home opener. The winner, Giancarlo Loeffler. Pick your coach at the 2023 K Academy. The winner, Keith Fournier. And 2023 K Academy tuition. The winner, Adam Tolan. Congratulations to all of our winners, and thank you for purchasing tickets to support the Emily K. Center.
Excellent.
Back inside Cameron Indoor Stadium, we get set to go to the second half of the championship game. It's the 1 seed Denver leading the 2 seed San Antonio 22-9. David Schmidt alongside Ryan Craig. Jeff Holtman's alongside as well. They just announced the raffle winners. Of course, all of the entries benefiting the Emily Krzyzewski Center here in Durham, the favorite charity of Mike Krzyzewski. And Adam Tolan out there playing right now, but he's good to go for 2023, fellas. He just won a full scholarship.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not a bad consolation prize, as you said, Jeff, in case this doesn't go the way of San Antonio. But I don't even know if he knows that he won that, to be totally honest, given that he's in the middle of a game right now.
I saw 2 arms go up down there. I think he's got a
Okay, all right. Maybe somebody told him.
Maybe that gives him a little shot of adrenaline to kind of give San Antonio a good start here.
Now, you were telling us off air. I don't know if you're telling us on there. What's the most valuable of the prizes they give out?
I mean, for me, it's pick your coach. I don't even think it's close.
We won't ask you to pick who it is.
You had all of your eggs in that basket.
I see. I don't know who it is, so I don't have to make that decision now. But I didn't win also, so unfortunately, I won't be able to pick it.
San Antonio will have it first. Needing some offense in that first half. 4 of 16 from the field, 1 of 2 from distance. Goldblatt crossing over, looking for some space. Going to take a contested 2, can't hit. And the rebound inside into the hands of Meta.
He liked the matchup there, but he couldn't quite figure out what move he wanted to make.
Feels like with Zhao and McNulty on the bench, for San Antonio to get back into this one, this next 3.5 minutes is going to be important.
It's interesting how Coach Emil Jefferson has created his rotations and having both of those guys off on 2 different occasions, I believe. You know, not splitting them up necessarily, but clearly it's worked. It's just an interesting concept.
Hollinger can't hit. And the rebound inside for James Chenard.
That's a great point, Ryan. I think most coaches would split their bigs and make sure they had a size presence in there. This is definitely small ball.
See if Singer maybe could take advantage. Do you try to post him up?
Scott can't hit the 3, and Goldsmith the rebound.
They've taken 2 threes. The other thing, you're down 13. You don't need to get it back right away. You know, if you just kind of plug away, pound inside, let Singer do his thing, maybe draw a couple fouls, see the basket light up a little bit.
So Becky for 2, a little bit too strong, and we get a whistle and a foul on the rebounding action that'll stay on this end of the floor. Foul's going to go on Goldblatt.
It's a good effort by David Goldsmith there to create that foul, just crashing the boards. Probably pretty easy at this point when you're up this many to just give up the possession, head down to the other end of the floor, but here he is.
Oh, what a block inside by Scott as Goldsmith tried to step through. Some pretty good defense in this one. A couple of blocks for each side, 2 apiece. We get another look at this one. Good rim protection.
Yeah, we talked about it in the first half, but I really think Stormy's one of the better defensive players at this camp.
Yeah, being able to basically switch everything with a guy like him makes a huge difference.
Meta can't hit a 3 off the left. So Denver is yet to score here in the second half, but San Antonio hasn't gotten any closer. Still down by 13. Scott looking to the left, into the hands of Chenard. Now they feed the post, right back outside. Plenty of time, 12 to shoot. Goldblatt, a ball fake, and a jumper that won't go. Long rebound into the hands of Walker. He'll drive the right baseline. Tipped out of his hands from behind. Should stay here with 16 to shoot.
Nice job by Isler there to chase Goldblatt off the three-point line, too. Give up that long 2 all day long to anybody. I mean, obviously, that's, you know, analytics say that's the worst shot in basketball.
And Coach Wojo was drilling that into us in this camp. 18-foot 2-pointer.
Yeah.
Not a great shot. Of course, with Goldblatt, he's a great shooter. So
yeah, that's the thing. At least if he's going to make it, then it's only 2.
As Hollinger can't hit off the left. Turnover a moment ago for San Antonio was their 6th. And give credit to Denver, they've only given it away twice. Nice post position for Singer, and somehow he got it to go, nearly falling down off the left side.
Just absolutely fighting through contact there. Probably could have earned the whistle.
But the first points for their second leading scorer, San Antonio, without their leading scorer, Olesen. And Goldblatt hasn't scored yet either. As we get a foul inside. Take another look at Singer. He's been dealing with a double team all afternoon long again here, but found some space. That's a tough shot.
First points for either team of the second half thus far.
As the first free throw for Itzler is good.
Jesse made a nice move on that, and the book on him is he likes to go to his right. He's got an inside-outside move that even if you know it's coming, it's sometimes hard to stop. He did a nice crossover there and got inside.
Second free throw good. You guys like the Brotherhood uniforms for
I do.
Championship Sunday?
Big
Sweet,
fan.
right?
Big
Yeah,
fan.
absolutely.
Big fan. My 12-year-olds are going to try to steal those shorts. I'm not going to let it happen.
Chenard going to try long two. That won't go. And two Denver players knock the rebound away from each other, so another chance for San Antonio. A ball fake from Goldblatt, a long two, no.
Yeah, same thing there. Goldblatt forced into that long two. I think it was Goldsmith that did it that time. Itzler prior to it.
Singer able to clean up on the offensive glass. He's got 4 here in the second stanza.
That was a big foul to keep him hanging around.
An 11-point game, good way to put it, just kind of hanging around with 11 and a half minutes to go. Goldsmith trying to post up. Found a cutter, Itzler, now it comes up top. Jumper up for Hollinger, offline left, and the rebound unable to save it as Itzler. 11:16 to go in the second half. Denver by 11, 24-13. And you look down, Zhao chomping at the bit to get back into the game. He probably will in about 15, 20 seconds. Goldblatt on the drive, forced it up, no, and the rebound inside for Rometa.
He's looking for some contact there. I think he got a little.
Itzler crossover, now for Hollinger. And Itzler crossing over, kicks to the corner. So Becky, one dribble and a kick out. Plenty of time, 12 to shoot. San Antonio trying to get organized defensively. They left Meta up top. Now it's Itzler for three. No. And the rebound for Singer, and there's the horn for the under 11 substitutions. So, from a Denver perspective, you're up 13 at halftime. No Zhao, no McNulty for the first 4 minutes, and your lead's still 11. I imagine if you're Emil Jefferson, you feel pretty good right now.
Yeah, you probably take a -2 on that shift, no doubt. Now you get your horses back in there.
I think to me that's going to be interesting to see what you guys think about San Antonio. Pluses and minuses, some of the injuries have allowed Singer to be out there pretty much the entire game, but he's also been out there pretty much the entire game from a fatigue factor.
Yeah, and he's still showing a lot of energy so far, so we'll see if he can keep it up.
Tolan along two, that won't go. And McNulty out of there with it. Content to push the pace fresh after resting the last 5-10 minutes or so.
That's what you were talking about, Jeff, earlier, is McNulty's not afraid to lead the break, grab the rebound himself, and head up floor.
And San Antonio did a good job of stopping his momentum there and making him bring it back out.
Moff for Jiang. Wanzalak. 6 to shoot as they get into the hands of McNulty. 5 now. Inside it goes for Zhao with 3 and 2. Lost it on the baseline. It'll stay here, though. They say last touch by San Antonio with 2 on the timer.
This is where you absolutely cannot foul. Do not bail a team out with 2 seconds on the shot clock and a baseline out of bounds.
Whistle. Offensive foul. Illegal screen. Now, what did you say about those earlier?
Yeah,
Like holding in the
we're going to be
NFL?
called illegal screens.
I'm going to miss my flight.
Yeah, exactly. This would be a 3-week event if they start doing that. But nevertheless,
Some of the golfers have made their way into Cameron Indoor Stadium. See Gerald Henderson visiting with Mike Krzyzewski across the way. Scott.
I'll tell you what, there might be more of a hydration issue for the golfers than basketball. You walked around outside this week, it was
Brutal. Got a little better towards the end of the week.
yeah,
the middle of the week.
man, the middle of the week was unbelievable.
Wanzalak in transition, left it for Zhao. He lost it. To the deck they go. Everybody on the floor in the paint. Somehow Zhao came out of there with it and got a timeout. We'll take it as well. 9:26 to go. Denver still up by 11. 9:26 to go in our championship game. Denver leading San Antonio 24-13. David Schmidt alongside Ryan Craig. Jeff Altman's with us for the title game. And fellas, we were talking about golf before we went. Some individual accolades, some team accolades as well.
Yeah, Team Blue Devils taking the team championship. There you see the back of Dan Ford, the long white T-shirt on the left. He was the individual champion for this edition of the Legends Classic. And speaking of golf, and we talked a little bit about dunks, Fred Perpall, a guy that has been both a basketball player and a golfer, and we did receive confirmation, Jeff, from another K Academy veteran that Perpall is on the dunk list officially.
Yes. K Academy veteran Mike Koch called in and made sure we knew that Perpall did dunk the ball. Also wanted to point out that it's possible he's gone a little soft now that he's playing golf. So it's a good observation, but unconfirmed.
We know Fred's watching, so we say hello, Fred, and we miss you.
But I hope the wine cellar build out went well.
There's a 3 off the left at short. You can't come with just a compliment. There's got to be something on
this is K Academy after all. Yes.
Wanzalak, all day to shoot.
Half of the Koch crew, by the way, has made it this year.
Yeah, it's better late than never. But Mike's brother Matt did show up in his usual festive and very social form.
No doubt.
Goldblatt and Tolan. San Antonio needs to make a little run here with 8:40 to go, down by 11. Trying to take it inside. We get a whistle and a foul. Will they call it a shooting foul or on the floor? I think they're going to give him free throws.
There we are.
There you go.
Festive and informed. Right there.
That's outstanding. I'm curious what that was. What do we think?
What kind of talking about hydration?
What kind of?
Like
I'm not sure it's appropriate for wide audience discussion.
Scott misses the first. A chance to cut it to 10. Short. And the rebound inside for McNulty. San Antonio hadn't been to the free throw line a ton. Those were their first 2 attempts, so they didn't get one to go.
And those looked a little bit like third game, second half foul shots.
It's just, you got to figure San Antonio's going to have to make some outside shots to get back in this, and those are the exact type of shots that fatigue just sort of take away from you.
As here's Scott deep in the left corner, 20 to shoot, got inside. With a Euro step, kicks to the right, and left it short on a jumper out of the hands of Singer, and that also looked a little bit tired from about 8 feet out.
He made a shot just like that in the first half.
If you're Denver, I really think this is about being steady at this point, right? It's like if you limit your turnovers and just kind of run your stuff, you've got a really good shot at winning this thing with only 7:56 to play.
Well, we're almost a little over 7 minutes into the second half. Denver's only scored 2 points here in the second stanza. I mean, San Antonio's outscored them 4-2 here in the second half.
Yeah, it's been
McNulty goes to the line.
It's been quiet offensively for both sides.
First free throw's good. Goldsmith back in. Moff will get a break. And as you said, it does have that feel that Denver's just kind of controlling things right now. Tempo, pace, they can go inside if they need to, or content to just work on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, if they give up 4 points every 7 minutes, they are the champions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they just want to kind of keep. They're fine with this being a grinded out, methodical.
1 out of 2 at the line. They tried to hit ahead for Singer, just couldn't hold on.
And that's the opposite end, right? So San Antonio's having to try to push the pace, and so they're more turnover prone because they're doing that. And then as that scale continues to go in favor of Denver, it becomes harder and harder.
Yeah, for San Antonio, stay patient. You got 8 minutes left, and you can get stops in the K Academy. For Denver, run your stuff. Don't be tentative, but you don't need to be in a hurry.
As Goldblatt gets called for a reach in. Why not take some chances? Down by 12. 2 teams that don't shoot a ton of threes. San Antonio's 1 out of 4. Denver's 2 out of 10. Itzler off the left side of the lane. It won't go. And the rebound for Scott. Long hit ahead. Nice catch in traffic for Singer. Little hesitation move, but he couldn't finish. Did everything but. Nice catch. Nice move inside. Just didn't get the roll.
And McNulty hustling down the court there to defend that shot.
Goldsmith on the drive. Drew a foul, and he'll shoot 2.
I think that's the 4th on Tolan. He's basically the other primary ball handler for San Antonio other than Jason Goldblatt.
We're talking about the minutes that are being chewed up out there for San Antonio. This double-digit cushions allowed Emil Jefferson to give Zhao a little bit of time on the bench. Moff has been resting the last few minutes. McNulty's been out there. But at any given moment, he can go, you call him the Twin Towers if he needs to. First free throw, no good. One more for Goldsmith, looking for his first point.
Goldsmith right now, his stats don't jump out at you. I think he's played a really good game for Denver. He's been really active defensively.
Yeah, he's another tough defender.
Walker with it. Scott on the drive, into the paint, scooped it up, no. And the rebound for Hollinger. Outlet pass for McNulty. Crossing over all the way in, stripped, got it back, put it up and in.
Nice job by Goldblatt to nearly dislodge the ball. McNulty, those strong hands, able to recollect.
Yeah,
Took his time.
Strong and soft hands. Good combination.
And he's the first for either side into double figures, 10 and 6 for McNulty. And a steal in backcourt as they put on the pressure. Goldsmith for Wanzalak. And he'll back out with 6.5 to go.
That's an energetic pair of defenders with Goldsmith and Wanzalak. They're not just going to simply allow you to walk it up the floor.
Hollinger deep two, sure.
That's a really nice possession. Wanzalak passing up the quick early shot. They got a couple passes, got it back into open space. Nailed it. Really pretty to watch.
And Denver has opened it up, now leading by 16, 29-13 as we hit the 6-minute mark. And that one won't go off the left. San Antonio's missed their last 7. They're one of their last 10 from the field. And here comes Zhao back in.
Yeah, the news does not get better for San Antonio.
In some respects, you got to tip your cap to San Antonio, able to hold on and get to the championship game after they lost Olesen in the second half of their semifinal.
And lost the momentum and lost the lead and then able to get their way back. And, you know, part of the problem is it's 10 minutes. It'd be one thing if the finals were tomorrow. You know, maybe you can get your guy back and look like the way you've looked the entire rest of the week. But there's not a whole lot you're going to do with a hamstring injury in 10 minutes, at least that I know of. I don't know. You're out there in the Silicon Valley area. Maybe they have some new things developing.
Well, I'll tell you that there's nobody better than Jose and his team.
Yeah.
And but even they can't work miracles.
Yeah.
Well, there's that, and then you were talking earlier, even the best of circumstances, the mental challenge of the turnaround, it's not like you got a bunch of time to put a new game plan in, and everything had been built around Olesen and what he can do, and now you got to scrap that and come up with something new with not a lot of time where guys are trying to get rehydrated, stretched out. It ain't easy.
Yeah, and again, not taking anything away from Denver, who's playing a really good championship game and has played a phenomenal tournament. But, you know, you do think about the energy that San Antonio had to put out with a shortened roster after the injury to get that semifinal win. That was really impressive, and they just seem to be coming up a little bit short here.
29-15 now, 14-point game with 5:33 to go. With only 8 guys healthy, the stuff you need to do for San Antonio, like press, full court man-to-man defense, becomes that much trickier as you're trying to create as many possessions as possible. In Denver, as you would expect, content to work the clock and find a good look from the corner. That one won't go, but the tap follow is up and in for McNulty.
That's a dozen for him.
That's really a tough kind of shot in the ribs, if you will, when you make a good defensive stand, get a partially blocked shot, falls right to their best player inside, and he finishes it.
So 31-15 now as we hit the 5-minute mark. Think about these guys for Denver. Itzler's won it twice, but a bunch of guys certainly looks like they're going to have their first K Academy title, including their head coach. So if Jefferson joining the staff for John Shire this year.
Yeah, so if Itzler's won 2 and this is looking like it's going to be 3, where does he stand in the pecking order? That's got to be near the top, right?
4 is the most, I believe.
Okay. So he's working his way into the conversation.
3 different guys have 4.
Okay. Scott Walker, Rick Schnall, Jeff Klein, all big-time veterans. That's a lot of years of K Academy. 4 titles.
Dallas took the title last year. There's a jumper off the left. Is Sobecki able to hit?
What did you get, Jeff? Did you guys get watches, rings? What did you get?
We get watches.
Watch, that's what I thought,
championship
yeah.
Watches. In fact, when I won it with Jesse and Rick and Walker.
We were all on the same team?
Yeah, it was Rick, Scott Walker, Molnar, who won it last year,
Yep.
and Jesse, among
squad.
among others. We had
Yeah.
a good run. Coach Shire was our coach, who was a good year, and that's the year that we won it on Rick's last-second buzzer beater.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good squad.
33-15. They're going to take Schultz out, or McNulty out, I should say. Who you guys like for MVP?
Of the tournament, I guess you kind of have to go. I mean, usually it's the winning team, right? So that sort of narrows it down.
I think you're looking at McNulty.
Me too. He's got 10 and 8 in this game.
And probably for the season, you're looking at Olson.
Probably. The thing with Olson, though, was he didn't. I mean, his stats weren't glaring.
Yeah.
Because he just. He just was. I just thought he was a really good teammate, and
I
he
think
included his guys. He could have run his stats up like crazy and chose not to do that.
Yeah, and I think you're looking at kind of the success of the team.
Yeah.
In a similar way, they had a 5-0 regular season.
Yeah.
And I think he's the most important player on the team that was the other 5-0 team.
Yeah.
So I'd kind of go that direction.
There's also a little bit of eye test to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he averaged whatever it was, 12 or 13 points. I think anybody that watched their team or played against them, knows he probably could have doubled that if he wanted to pretty easily.
Yeah, we played both these teams, and I think McNulty's a handful. Obviously, Zhao. They've got a great team, and they're well on their way to winning the championship to prove it. But the one guy who you kind of like, how are we going to defend it? How are we going to stop this guy?
Yeah.
And that's Olson.
We'll see. They usually announce it right after the game. Depends. I'm not sure if we'll have that as part of the coverage, but usually it happens. I think I'm getting where we are going to have that, so we'll see how the predictions hold up.
You can see how much that hamstring still bothering him. He was rubbing it during that
Yeah.
whole timeout. And here comes some full court pressure. You have to if you're San Antonio. Down by 14 right now, 31-17. With 3.5 minutes to go. Zhao inside, just too much.
That's a really nice play design out of the timeout there.
Tolan quickly down court. Sayat. And a handoff for Goldblatt.
Emil
Looks like Emil Jefferson's going to empty out the bench.
Yep, calling out his entire team forward. 5 substitutes.
And Zhao went straight up. Moff, a one-handed pass for Wanzalak. You can tell Denver's starting to feel it now, just having a little fun out there on the left baseline. These guys likely know it might be their final possession of K Academy, and it's going to be Mav who can't hit a three.
I'm thinking Wanzalak's going to take back that decision and shoot that next time.
Tolan. Goldblatt. 2:40 to go. Denver's been in control the entire way. They lead by 16. McNulty. Itzler the lob. Zhao the catch. Can't finish. Got his own rebound. Put it back up. How about a third try? That one's good.
Moses Malone-like.
I was
two
going
offensive rebounds.
I was going Dennis Rodman, but
There you
I'm
go.
with you.
Yeah.
As we get another look, when you got that much size, keep at it. Just playing volleyball out there. Pretty good lift on the second hop, too.
No doubt. And honestly, we're talking about McNulty as the MVP. I don't know that they win, or I don't think they have that success they do without Zhao.
Mm-hmm.
He creates such mismatch problems when they have two really capable bigs, and then the scoring that he provided in the lead up to this championship game.
You could go Co, right? Co-MVP.
Could go Co.
So back to that point around the Twin Towers, I was talking to Josh before the draft this year, and he said he really hoped that he'd get on a team with another big, so he wouldn't have to always play inside and always defend the other team's post player to keep himself a little more fresh.
Yeah. No, I think it makes all the sense in the world.
I think I give Emil Jefferson and staff a little bit of credit, too, because the Foster City, California native, you could make Stephen Moth out as the find of the draft to add that shooting on this team with the bigs inside.
Yeah, huge value. I mean, that's it's sort of like the draft. I mean, gosh, Golden State Warriors. I mean, Draymond Green,
Yeah.
right? If you get that kind of value, you know, probable future Hall of Famer out of a draft, what was he, early second round? Right, that's how you create dynasties. You can't just buy up everybody. We've seen teams try to do that in the league, and it usually hasn't worked. But you get good value in any draft. I don't care what sport it is. You're going to have high likelihood for success. And I think Emile Jefferson's staff did a great job of evaluating those 3-on-3 games, and then the strategy in the draft room itself. When we're seeing it, it's going to result in a watch. Everybody's getting a watch today for Denver, or next year whenever they officially arrive.
Yeah, there'll be a little ceremony to start next year's camp.
Medican hit a three off the right. The bench would have exploded if that would have gone in, as the coaches are starting to celebrate. 1 minute to go. Goldblatt going to take a three. That's a little bit offline. Some tired legs out there for San Antonio as we're in the final minute.
You know, another multi-time champion. Maybe you've got the stats here as well on that. But Mort Schulman has won. This is at least his second. I think it may be his third or fourth championship here. Great coach, great guy. Always makes sure his teams are hydrated. Big, important key to success.
He's a doctor, so he knows his stuff, knows the physiology. Just had his jersey retired this year. He'll be the first jersey up in the rafters entirely as a coach. And that was retired every year once I think it's 5 years to get your jersey retired. And so Morty Schulman, given that honor this year, adding to his Wikipedia page, I'm sure that's being edited as we speak, as a multi-time champion at K Academy.
His fifth title lines up nicely
title.
with
Fifth
somebody
title.
else.
Yikes. Move over.
I mean, what a year,
Goodness
what a year to have your
gracious.
fifth title, right? I mean, what a year to have your fifth title.
In fact, he's got a more recent, it's happening right now. It's the most recent. That's incredible.
As he
One for the
stands
thumb.
right next.
to another five-time
Yeah, to a
champion.
five-time
right, to our
champion.
left.
Who had a couple other gold medals and a few victories. A pretty good career. That's great. Good for Morty.
We could hear him say to Emile Jefferson, "We did it."
I don't know if there's anybody that truly enjoys camp more than Dr. Schulman.
And I think
Right? I mean, every moment. He just loves it. I mean, loves
he
being
just
here.
loves it. He's got a smile on his face the whole time. He's social. He's around everybody. You know, he's. I think he gets here like on Sunday night and preps for it.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but he is here on Tuesday, and I come in from California on
That's
Tuesday,
right.
and he's always here already. So he's
Saw
into it.
a picture there a moment ago of the five-timers. There's the doctor, double fist bumps to Emile Jefferson.
Steal for Goldblatt. We're in the final 10 seconds now. Pretty impressive stuff. As that jumper is no good, a rare offensive rebound and a putback. That cuts it to 16, but that'll do it. 8-0. Denver is perfect, and they take K Academy 19.
2022 K Academy champion.
Quick shout out to James Chenard, who gets that bucket at the very end there. Pretty cool, and a great run for San Antonio. Injuries aside, fantastic season. Certainly weren't at their best in this game, but a very good effort, and all credit to Denver. Perfect regular season, postseason. They'll be added to the history books of undefeated champions at K Academy.
Sixth time it's happened in 19 years, most recently in 2017. We knew we were going to have an undefeated champion because San Antonio, give them credit, 7-0 as well coming in. But Denver, even if Olsen had played, man, they were going to be tough to deal with McNulty
That's what
and
I mean,
Zhao
yeah.
inside.
No doubt.
And the way they came out hitting threes, which they really hadn't done in the tournament. Moff had one earlier. McNulty hit one. They only made two, but they came in that first half where Denver took control, built a double-digit lead, and guys, it never really got to a place where it felt like Denver had to play under any stress.
Now, they were in control from the tip. Came out with a hot start and just kind of kept cruising, kept running their stuff, kept getting the ball inside. Played great defense, and that's the formula for a title.
McNulty nearly a double-double. He had 12 and 9. He was the only one in double figures for either team. 7 for Moff. Zhao had 6, as did Itzler. as they ended shooting 39% from the field while dazzling on defense, holding San Antonio to 8 of 42, 19%, and 1 of 12 from three. San Antonio was led in scoring by Graham Singer, who had 6 here on 2 of 8 shooting. They just never could find the stroke and were forced to take a bunch of threes because of the way the margin was in the second half. But fought till the end, and the celebration well underway. I'd imagine it'll continue for the next few hours here on campus as they take the title here in 2022.
We are the champions, blaring over the speakers. Very appropriate. Got to be a cool feeling, Jeff. What's it like to be out there right now? I mean, it's, it's a camp, and it's a fantasy camp. It's also a heck of a lot of work. This is not the easiest way to spend 5-6 days. Ton of effort. Even though they never lost the game, there's always diversity. There's always bumps, bruises. What does it feel like to be coming out on top like this?
I think Coach Wojo this year, who I was fortunate enough to play under, I think he said it best. Winning the K Academy is hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And I think the enjoyment of winning a championship, you're thinking about how all that you put into winning it and all it took to win it and all the plays you made and all the camaraderie and how you had to improve from day one, to Sunday. And if you don't improve, you don't win the K Academy. So a lot of work, a lot of effort. And it lasts. It's going to last them the next year, and they'll get on new teams and going to try to do it again.
Confetti flying. Piece just landed on Jeff Oltmans. Is that an omen for next year?
That might be. You got a piece too, though. So are you getting dressed? Are you dressing out next year?
Nice piece of hardware out there. Mike Krzyzewski out there as well. Obviously, this was going to be a special K Academy, being the year that Coach was retiring. It'll obviously continue, but it's great to see him out at all the games as well, supporting all the different teams and telling stories throughout the week of guys through the years and who the key players have been and who's been ball boys on different teams for him over the years. It's wild to see it. Let's listen in to the post-game announcements, some of the awards here at K Academy.
Josh McNulty.
Time is short and the road is long. beat of your heart. Feel the wind in your face. It's more than a contest. It's more than a race. And when it's done, win or lose, you always did your best. 'Cause inside you knew, in one shining moment, you reached for the sky. In one shining moment, you knew, yeah. In one shining
Denver still celebrating an undefeated season, the sixth perfect champion here in K Academy. David Schmidt and Ryan Craig as we wrap this thing up. Josh McNulty, a deserved MVP, 12-9 in the title game as Denver controls things against previously unbeaten San Antonio, 39-21. Ryan, is an impressive game, but it was an impressive week for them.
Yeah, deserving champions, no question about it. They were comprehensive in their approach, in their execution, poise, everything you could ask from a team. You know, the hardest thing is you have all these guys coming together, and you got kind of like 3 days to get it humming, and everybody's coming in various states of physical condition and leaving in various states of physical condition. So congratulations to Coach Emil Jefferson, his entire staff, everybody that's part of Team Denver. Really cool moment on the floor, obviously, too, with one shining moment. So congrats, and obviously looking forward to it again next year.
Emil Jefferson joining John Shire's staff next year. He starts his tenure with the championship.
It's not bad. It's a good way to start.
At K Academy. Also want to pass along that Anderson was the regular season MVP.
Yeah, and again, deserving. Just absolutely dominant at times. I keep going back at one of the games, 18 points, 18 rebounds. That's just pretty unheard of. And so, didn't have the result he wanted in terms of the team portion of it, but a great camp nonetheless. He's a guy that's here all the time. I'm sure he'll be back again next year, and he'll want to get that watch.
Had 15 rebounds in the semifinals against Denver. Denver obviously went on to win the championship. They beat Seattle on that one 40-27, and they take the title game 39-21. Ryan, it's been a blast.
It's always great, David. You are a pro. Obviously, the voice of the Blue Devils. We all love hearing you on the airwaves, man. So great to work with you today.
I want to shout out the guys that were with us for the semis in the championship game. Always good to visit with Randy Chen. Tim Dealey is headed back to San Francisco to see how the Warriors fare against Boston. And Jeff Oltmans, who joined us here in the title game.
Another Warriors guy.
There you
go. So, yeah, they've got some work to do here this evening. But I know they'll be watching and cheering for their team. And, by the way, Randy's a Boston fan. So we had both sides covered here today.
Both sides. Well, we had two Warriors, so maybe that means.
Yeah.
But you got Tatum for the Celtics,
Yes.
so you got to lean that way a little bit. Denver takes the title 39-21 for our entire crew. I'm David Schmidt. Thanks so much for joining us. See you next year for K Academy 20.
We gon' celebrate and have a good
It's a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on and celebrate tonight. 'Cause everything's gonna be alright. Let's celebrate.
Miss Worldwide, let's celebrate. Yeah, yeah. Just wanna celebrate. Just wanna celebrate. Tonight we making history. Just wanna celebrate. We've been around the world, sing song. Work hard, play harder all day long. All the continents get jealous over me. You can see me 3D overseas. If you know me, then you know what a fan. Off in the Bahamas with a bad one behind me. Now live it up, live it up, live it up. Baby, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. And we gon' boom, boom, all around the world. Boom, boom, go get it, girl. Boom, boom, that's the way we like to play. And we gon' boom, boom, all around the world. Boom, boom, go get it, girl. Boom, boom, that's the way we like to play. Just wanna celebrate. Just wanna celebrate. Tonight we making history. Just wanna celebrate. Turn it up. Turn it up. I've been patiently waiting for you to shake it and shake it. Make it or take it. The point is we made it. Quarterback the game, call us Tom Brady, and it's not our fault that we have all the ladies, but it's hard to see these ladies when your middle name's Equator. All around the globe, matter of fact, see you later. They're great, we're greater, world dominators, and we're also some smooth operators, and we gon' boom, boom,